partners to pray with me, did a project proposal. Ooh, every night I would stay up until 3 in the morning doing a PowerPoint projection. And the Lord opened the door for me with American Bible Society. One director there said, might be a good thing to partner with you at the UN. We can distribute Bibles. So together the two of us, back and forth ideas, brainstorming, just declaring, many in the UN will be saved because of this Bible exhibit. But there was a second project proposal. It was called a lunch hour Bible study for Catholics in the United Nations. Now, I belong to a Christian ministry, having left my Catholic brethren because I was so hungry for the Word of God, so thirsty. Now, what happened was this. The Bible study was supposed to be every Thursday for 1 hour from 12 to 1 o'clock, 12:30 to 1:30, and we would find a venue and partner with people in the United Nations who love Jesus. Now, the UN is big, brethren. That's what the Lord gave me. Field of harvest, 64 duty stations all over the world. UN New York is its headquarters. The second one is where we are now in Geneva. The third one is in Vienna. And around the United Nations are not just the staff members, there are ambassadors like Ambassador Yao. Diplomats hungering to know Jesus. And there are interns, non-governmental organizations, those serving the permanent missions, drivers, secretaries. When I counted them, hundreds of thousands it seemed, related to the work of the UN. I thought, this is big Jesus. But my burden was for the Catholic brethren. Because I knew that if not for the charismatic Catholic branch, many are lost and perishing because of lack of real wisdom about the Word of God. Do you agree with me? Do you know at least someone you're praying for? So I said, Jesus, you said, reach one more for you. I will. Present this project proposal. So I did present it to the Christian ministries that I was involved in. My elders in the Word of God. But as the Lord had it, He closed the hearts of many of them to the project proposal. One, they said, Tess, do you have to start one for the Catholics when you can just invite them to go to the Christian ministries where the real Jesus, they said, is being proclaimed? And I said, but the Lord told me, I am a fisherman, Tess, as He spoke to my heart. I know what will make the fishes bite. There was a great divide in the UN, at least between the Christians and who are not Catholics, and the Christians who are Catholics. Great divide. They won't even come together at that time. And I felt it. Now, what happened then was September 11 came, so we prepared the project proposal, and I was able to get a venue as the Lord led to me. It was next to the cafeteria, a venue 3 times this size that will seat about 100 people, was offered to us for free because a cultural club, offered to host it. It was going to teach the Word of God to the Catholics, and the Lord also gave me something non-traditional that Pastor Jerry was mentioning today. Come out of the convention. And the Lord, as I was praying to Him, no, do not get someone who's identified with the Christian ministries. Get a charismatic Catholic priest. I said, Lord, what will my Christian brethren say? And the Lord led me to a charismatic Catholic priest who loved the Word of God and preaches the way Pastor Jerry would preach the Word of God. And then I said, Lord, what Bible to distribute? And the Catholics who are now partnering with me for this initiative said, do not use any other except the one with imprimatur. And I said, Lord, what will my brethren say? And the Lord said, impress upon my heart, go to the American Bible Society and they will distribute these free of charge. But I said, Lord, I will be outcast. But the Lord says, do this, the one with the imprimatur. They will start to read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and get to know me. So this is what happened, my dear brethren, and we are all ready on September 11 to launch the initial meeting, the Bible study, the Thursday Bible study on Thursday, September 13. So I went, on my vacation day, I went to the DC2 building to just check on things and pray again and meet again with the partners who will help me here. Initiate this. I didn't want to lead it. I wanted to give it to them. But somehow the Lord wanted to give it to me. For what reason? I don't know. I didn't know then. So September 11, I was in front and all hell broke loose in the United Nations area. They were trying to evacuate staff members trapped, they thought, in the United Nations, because they said after World Trade Center, the second attack will be the United Nations. And we had no security measures, emergency security measures in place. Now understand this. At that time, it was like World War III broke out in Manhattan, New York. Smoke billowing in the air. The train station stopped. Cell phones stopped ringing. Phones stopped. People crying in the streets. Where is my daughter? Where is my son? Oh God, where are you? It was just chaos. And I kept my heart still. I said, Lord, what is happening? What should we do? Keep still, keep still. The Spirit was telling me. And I would approach each one, everyone was crying, oh, my children were trapped in the subway. We would pray with them. And the Christians now marshaled enough resources to just reach out to each one. Can you imagine? Thousands of people lost, crying out. People getting killed, news on the radio. Blaring on the megaphone saying, come out, people in the United Nations. I remembered going back to my apartment to ask the Lord, give me some still moments, because it's easy to panic. And the Lord asked me to pray, and pray for the President, for President Bush, to now call leaders, prayer leaders all over the country. So, September 12, I prayed to the Lord and I said, Lord, what do you want us to do? And the Lord said, in adversity, find an opportunity for the gospel. So I said, Lord, the Bible study, tomorrow, Thursday, September 13, what do you want us to do? Launch it. And I said, okay. So, September 12, I went with some prayer partners in the room and declared that the glory of God will just dispel fear among the people. That fear which Satan had put in the hearts of many in all over the world, especially in that area, fear will be dispelled by the word of God. I didn't realize until the opening that the Lord was staging for me an ideal platform for what would be called as Emmaus, Walk with Jesus Bible study for Catholics. So we had a theme, the priest and I had a theme for that, for what would have been the launching. But the Lord changed that, and we changed the flyers, we changed the email broadcast, and the Lord gave me the theme, fear. How to overcome it with the Word of God. And I called the one who's preaching and I said, do away with the theme. And he said, Tess, I don't even know if I can travel by subway or by car to Manhattan. And I said to the preacher, please come. The Lord will bless. September 13. That room, which was usually just being used for eating, loitering, drinking, beer, and other things that people usually do on lunch break, and eating, became a house of prayer. Diplomats came in. It was packed. Diplomats we didn't know were Christians, closet Christians, many of them. UN staff members who didn't even want to talk with us about the Word of God, saying, I already know that. They flooded into the room, and I can still remember it very clearly.